who here likes to enjoy a nice sizzling hot piece of bacon or sausage in the morning with their breakfast? Now, who here knows what impact that meat has on the environment and on your health? Hi, my name is Mallory Ferguson, and today I'm here to tell you about the dangerous impacts of the meat industry on the environment and on our health, and why to go vegetarian because of that. So I've been a vegetarian for 4 years, and it's made a huge impact on my life. I'm much more conscious of the choices that I make regarding what goes into my body and the different ways that I regard environmental impacts and what I do to make the environment a better, more habitable place. So first, I'm going to be talking about the impacts of the meat industry on the environment and on our health and how they're pretty negative. Then I'll be talking about how going vegetarian will reduce those impacts. And then lastly, how many benefits there are to being vegetarian. So let's get started. So first, I'm going to talk about the dangers of the impacts of the meat industry on the environment and our health. So according to PETA, it's been found that the meat industry releases more greenhouse gases into the environment than all of the world's transportation systems combined. That is a ridiculous amount of greenhouse gases, and as many of you may know, greenhouse gases are responsible for a lot of climate change and the global warming crisis. We cannot afford to be releasing this amount of greenhouse gases into our environment just due to a dietary preference. It's time to make a change in order to slow down this crisis that we are dealing with. PETA has also found that the meat industry uses a large amount of resources that we cannot afford. They found that it takes 2,400 gallons of water to produce just 1 pound of beef. That's an extremely irresponsible amount of resources to go into such a small amount of product. And we can't afford that because last time I checked, nature does not have an unlimited amount of resources. Now, meat also has a very large carbon footprint as compared to vegetables, and it also has a lower calorie with a larger carbon footprint. So when you're eating meat, you're getting less calories, and you're also making a larger carbon footprint and impacting the environment much more negatively. Now, the meat industry doesn't just impact the environment negatively, it also impacts your health. According to the US National Library of Medicine, with a regular consumption of red meat, it increases your risk of heart disease, total mortality, colorectal cancer, and type 2 diabetes. All of these are extremely dangerous diseases, and they can even be life-threatening. They're difficult to treat, and they can all be really, really detrimental to your health. Your risk is increased greatly by eating meat, and so it's time to make a change in order for us to add years onto our lives instead of taking them away just because we want to eat a steak. So I know I talked about a lot of really scary issues that we have with the meat industry, but now it's time to talk about how we're going to solve them, and that is by going vegetarian. A lot of people don't agree and say that vegetarianism is not the right way to go because we don't get the proper vitamins and nutrients that the body needs on a vegetarian diet, but that is false. According to Harvard Health, you can get 100% of your nutritional sufficiency from a vegetarian diet. Not only did Harvard Health find this, they also found that with the vegetarian diet, you had a decreased risk of heart disease, and others had to agree. The Cambridge Journal also found that a decreased risk of heart disease occurred with the vegetarian diet. They also found you have a lower risk of constipation, gallstones, appendicitis, and diverticular disease, all very difficult to treat and very rigorous and possibly even life-threatening if they go untreated. It's very important that we take care of our bodies and make sure that we're keeping track of what we put into them. And a vegetarian diet can possibly add years onto your life by decreasing your risk of many life-threatening diseases. A lot of people say that they can't go vegetarian because of their dietary preferences, and there's just certain foods that they cannot live without. And to that, I say that there are many different types of vegetarianism, and you can pick one that is the best for your preferences. If you know you cannot live without fish, there's a pescatarian diet you can follow. If you want to continue to eat eggs and dairy, you can go lacto-ovo-vegetarian. There are so many different ways that you can stop eating meat that people do not realize. Now, I know we also talked about a lot of the really dangerous emissions that the meat industry causes, and it's really important that we decrease these emissions. It's been found that a vegetarian diet, according to Time magazine, can decrease up to 70% of these emissions. That way, we can have a much healthier environment and perhaps even stop the climate change and climate crisis that we are going through right now. It just takes a small dietary change in order to make a huge impact on all of these dangerous emissions going through our environment. So now I just want you to imagine it. You've decided to go vegetarian. you're living a much happier and healthier lifestyle. Your stress is way lower because when you go to the doctor, you don't have to worry about being at a very high risk for life-threatening diseases and other things that could take years off of your life. You know that you're making a great impact on the environment because your carbon footprint is minuscule compared to that of a meat eater. You know that you're doing all that you can in order to save the planet before it is too late. Now, not only are you helping the environment and your health by going vegetarian, you can also save the lives of others. According to One Green Planet, an environmental organization, a vegetarian saves the lives of 404 animals per year. So not only will we have a better environment with vegetarianism, we'll also save the animals that live within it and create a much better place for them to live and for us to live as well. We can truly impact the world in such a great way if we just choose to change a couple dietary preferences. So now it's time to make that change. It's time to transition into a vegetarian diet. It is not as hard as many people think. It's 2019 and there are so many different meat substitutes available, some that taste better than the original. Now, I really encourage you, next time you're out grocery shopping, Publix is just around the corner. Instead of picking up burger meat or anything like that, pick up a meat substitute and give it a try. Start to phase meat out of your diet and see what a great change it has on your life. And if we all do this together, we can make a great impact on the environment. I feel great about my personal choices after going vegetarian, and I feel great about my health and what I'm doing for the environment. And you can too if you just simply go vegetarian. Thank you.